after it's broke up, but not.
Way to go, Nick.
Okay, 6 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. First, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The minutes of the December 13th meeting.
Make a
Is the
motion to
committee's
approve.
pleasure.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any corrections or additions?
I'm sorry, who was the second? I missed.
I was.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, ayes, it is a unanimous decision. Public comment. People wishing to address the board will be limited to 2 minutes each, with public comment limited to a total of 30 minutes. Is there anybody wishing to make a public comment? Anybody wishing to make a public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on with the agenda. Monthly report for fire department.
Good evening, board and residents. We're currently staffed with 48 members. So doing okay, but we're always looking for good people. Since the last report to the board, the department for the month of December responded to 44 calls for service, consisting of 29 EMS calls and 15 fire calls. That broke down into 5 structure alarms, 2 mutual aids, 1 structure with that big Gardner trucking out in Pittsville, and 1 Project Lifesaver in Marshfield, 2 false alarm, 2 motor vehicle accidents, believe it or not, 2 wildland brush calls, vehicle fire, and 1 carbon monoxide call. Training information, the monthly department training consisted of our EMRs in the EMS group finished their refresher up last month. And then on the fire side, we stayed in-house last month and went over our new thermal imagers we purchased, and Project Lifesaver protocols, and then protocols in general. So last month, meeting, we had a regular monthly meeting, department meeting, 4 training meetings. Public relations, we did, at our meeting, business meeting in December, we put a boot out and we raised, out of pocket from members, $315 for the best Christmas ever. We put a boot in the front of the room. Smoke detectors, last month we did 2 homes. Address signs don't move much this time of the year. And there were no injuries to report. Any questions from the board or citizens? Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, did they ever discover what caused that Gardner fire?
I haven't heard. I'm not sure if it was machinery inside the shop or, we sent 1 truck out there, 1 tender with 2 men that night, so.
Safety department?
There were no injuries to report,
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
so, all right.
Police department.
Good evening, everyone,
Good evening.
residents, town board. Okay, for the month of December, the Grand Rapids Police Department handled 362 calls for service, and that compared to 307 calls for service in December of last year. That's about a 17.9% increase in calls. For the year, the Grand Rapids Police Department handled 4,241 calls for service, and that compared to 4,084 calls for service during 2021, about a 3.8% increase in calls. And they're attached to that, it's a breakdown of those calls, both for the years and for the year totals and for December's totals. Police Department issued 65 traffic citations, 9 ordinance citations, 53 written warnings for the month of December. The Grand Rapids Auxiliary Police Helping Hands initiative for the holiday season was another huge success. Generous donations totaling $2,626 from Town of Grand Rapids businesses and individuals were able to assist 3 families, which included 17 children in the area. Gifts, clothes, basic needs, and food certificates were provided to the families so they could have an enjoyable Christmas. I'd like to personally thank the Grand Rapids Auxiliary, Sergeant Roxanne Nordbeck, and also Sergeant Rita Villanueva of the Grand Rapids Auxiliary, and also Officer Cody Conover and Officer James Jaworski of the Grand Rapids Police Department, who supervise the auxiliary. And of course, all the volunteers and individuals and businesses that supported this effort. Vehicles in the department are doing well outside of normal preventive maintenance, minor repairs, and once again, feel free to stop by anytime if you have any questions or concerns. Questions?
Yes, I'm just wondering, did our new hire start yet?
Did you want?
The new hire?
That's still in process, yeah.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Keith.
you bet.
There is no treasurer's report as was indicated in our correspondence here. Item number 6 on the agenda is consider and possible action on selling the Fire Chief Piatt's command vehicle. And will you be doing that? Discussing it?
I don't know what you're, I know at one point, I don't know if you guys are gonna auction it, or if you're gonna, obviously the money goes back to the general fund, so that's totally up to, Jeremy had made a remark that this time of year it ought to be pretty easy to sell a 4x4 half-ton pickup. It is stripped, all the lettering's off it, and it's been over at the town garage for about 3-4 weeks. Jules got all the recent receipts with their, Jewel and Lisa do with, I figured whoever'd buy it, we could show them the amount of work that's been done on it the last couple of years. It's been several $1,000s in repairs done to it. But yeah, what you guys wanna do with it is your call.
Has the committee discussed this with you at all? Police and Fire Commission?
No, I don't
Okay.
think they normally do. Usually it's just up to the board, whatever they
Yeah.
Yeah,
do with the
normally,
vehicle.
in the past, we've used the Wisconsin surplus auction, but it sounded like you guys were pretty pleased with whoever you
Yeah,
used.
Gov
Is that how we made
Okay,
most
so
of our
no.
money last year, was through
I think it was like.
outright
Gov
selling,
deal.
or?
They used,
We
Jewel
use
said
those auction
Gov
sites.
deal.
They either use that government auction site or Wisconsin online surplus. And I don't, like I said, that one time, just informally, Jeremy had mentioned that he thought the town could sell it pretty easily just outright and they wouldn't have to pay the commission on it, but that's you guys' call.
And if I may, when we had sold the other last vehicles, I think we had a really good return on our investment through Gov deals versus the Wisconsin surplus. So,
Okay, so motion, does somebody have a motion, and which way they would like to go?
I'll make a motion that we posted the Gov deals.
Is there a
Vehicle. I
second?
think we have to auction it for the most part. We can't just arbitrarily go slap a
I
price
think
on
we
it,
can
right?
sort of start at a price. I don't know I think last time when we did it, it was based on Blue Book, and I think the chair, Jeremy, ended up researching that, or maybe you did,
I did not.
okay.
You put a minimum amount
Right, we
on there.
saying that that's
Like a
the
reserve?
starting point,
Yeah,
and it
nothing less
was
than-
at Blue Book, and then move from there.
So we have a motion to go to government auction. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It has been seconded.
So are we going to put the Blue Book amount as the starting point?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay, so is that part of your motion?
Yes. I'd like to amend my motion to include that.
To include the blue book?
Yep.
And the second of these.
And Amber, is it good? Okay, thank
Any
you.
further discussion on it? Do you think you're satisfied with that, Bob? Chief?
It's totally up, once we're done
Yeah,
with
I know,
vehicles,
I
we
know.
turn them
You
back
had-
into you and,
Yeah, you had that panel, they call it
The
the
bread
bread truck.
truck.
yep.
So, you were involved in that. Didn't you find that satisfactory as far as the,
Oh, what the town got out of it?
yeah,
Yeah, I
See?
think that gave, because that was such an odd vehicle.
yeah.
That gave it a lot more of a market.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is a half-ton 4x4 GM pickup, so
Used vehicle prices are high right now though, so we should see
Yeah.
good,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, we're ready for the vote. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it is unanimous. Item number 7, Police Chief Pete Patterson's request to attend the WCPA/WPLF Midwinter Training Conference in the Dells.
I will make a motion to approve Chief Peterson's training request to go to the conference.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous again, and thank you. Number 8. Is consider and possible action on the 2022 renewal of the Horton Group for the town's commercial auto liability property, volunteer fire, VFD, accident and sickness, and LOSA, and workman's comp. And this is a summary of it, and estimated annual premium is $48,359.
And this is the one that was tabled at December's meeting because it wasn't here yet, so.
We always go with them, right?
Yeah.
Was there any need to shop around?
No, we've been with, we've tried quoting elsewhere and
Never.
we haven't had any luck, so.
The chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got that? No further discussion?
I
We'll
do
take a-
have one question.
Yes.
It includes the workers' compensation insurance, but the premiums don't reflect, the premiums that are listed here do not reflect 48,000. So can I conclude that $48,000
Well, they
minus?
don't have it listed on there, you're right.
No.
It's in there, yes, but yeah,
Okay,
I'm
so
not
is
sure
that
why.
the dollar amount for the workman's comp? Is that?
It's pretty
I would
high.
take the 40,
Yep,
yeah,
it's whatever, it's. yeah.
48 minus these, and that's what,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. that
And
would
that's
look
what I
about right.
did, but I didn't know if that would be true.
No, it's pretty high.
Will that discussion be in the minutes? That she just had, that discussion. So if we have to backtrack on that, we'll say, well, it was discussed in this motion, so. Appreciate that. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, ayes have it. So ordered. Item number 9, there is a handout on your desk in front of you on item number 9. Oh, we might have to go through 8 here.
Nope, you're good, we're on 9.
Oh, okay.
That's done. Pass that down to you guys to sign after all.
So we have the 2 number 9s, right?
Yep, you can just put that on the back, I just didn't have.
Oh,
it in the
okay.
packets.
That's on the back. Okay, the disbursements, you look them over and we will hand it out. Thank you. And that's also, the vouchers are included in this. So we'll move on if there's no discussion on it. Number 10, operator's license. Who makes the motion, and that's gonna have to read them all.
I can make a motion to approve the 1-year operator's license of Megan Elf at Hoozles, Phoenix Knippel at the store, April Voigt at Jammers, and Dax Zemmendorf at Bullseye Country Club.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing no one, it is unanimous. Thank you very much. Item number 11 is monthly reports from committees. We'll start out with Public Works. I'll just say something about Public Works. I hope the others did, but I've had several calls about icy roads and going out to the mailbox. And I have called Rick, 4 times, and he's responded to them. One was later on today that I got a call that's very slippery, and we just caution you people going out to your mailbox and stuff like that. The roads are icy, and we're doing as much as we can, so. I see a lot of problems up in Wausau. Just today, I believe I heard there were 68 car accidents in Marathon County just on superhighway, so. Anybody else have any public works comments?
I had some compliments that were given to me in regards to Public Works, and that they felt that they were doing a nice job keeping their subdivisions plowed, so they were happy with that.
Thank you. Anyone else? The airport commission, the airport meeting was canceled, so I know that because I usually go to them, and so there was no airport commission meeting. Recycling, solid waste, and water.
Yeah, we didn't meet. I did not have any complaints about, usually this time of year with the boxes not being broken down, so we must have done better than last year, but that's about all.
I drove by some of the houses, and it's just a shame how they think that garbage man is supposed to pick up that mess.
Right.
You know, and black bags and the whole works, and so I just don't see a lot of Christmas trees out there this year.
No, they actually started picking and chipping them up, I think, Rick and
Yeah.
Mike. And I think Jake is actually doing the chipping. But the chipper, the truck that they utilize for the chipping has a broken leaf spring, so they're a little bit behind. But they're working on it.
And Patty, you want to report on the plan commission?
Right, we met last night and we had 2 certified survey maps for approval. One was to separate a parcel to make 2 parcels. They're not looking at selling it, but it was just to make sure their home next to it was actually being sold, so they just wanted to make sure that their survey map was up to par for the sale of their neighbor's house. And then the other one was a correction because the property lines probably were not correct from the 60s. So it was just an edit of that. Also, Dollar General is planning on coming to our community in the town of Grand Rapids. We'll meet on the 23rd. We had to postpone that meeting till the 23rd for all the approvals. We approved all the annual renewals of the chicken permits. We had 16 of them to approve, and one out of the 6, well, there were 17. One out of the 17 decided to stop raising chickens, but there weren't any complaints, so our ordinance or whatever the people are doing, they're doing a good job with that. Then we did review the P1, M1, and the SP, and a little bit of the agricultural districts, and the permitted and conditional uses for the zoning ordinance that we have. We're just bringing it up to speed to match our comprehensive plan, and I think that's about it.
Anybody have any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we will move on to public buildings.
We didn't meet, but I do plan on having a meeting next week.
Okay, legislative,
Good enough.
public safety,
We have the fire contracts that have been signed too, they're extended out to 10 years. So those were agreed upon right at the end of the month. so we have that taken care of, so that was what we worked on in December.
Anyway, here, economic development,
Planning to meet next week. We do have a group that is looking to do some upgrades to the Westland Park, so we need to discuss that.
personnel committee,
Right now, we are working on doing employee performance reviews, and we will discuss the other topic in closed session.
you've already had one meeting, though.
Mhm, yep.
And you plan on having how many more on that?
There'll be 5 more.
Okay. WTA meeting, of course, I reported on that last month because the 2nd of December was our meeting, but our next meeting will be held on Friday, January 20th. It'll be hosted by the town of Port Edwards, and it'll be held at the Catholic Church in Nakusa. And the speakers at that will be from the Wood County Health Department. We'll be talking on it. And another thing on the WTA is that the district meetings are starting throughout the town, throughout the state, and they begin on January 20th and end on Saturday, April 1st. And also on Monday, April 10th, they will be virtual, and the payment for those is, and you can get it in now, but it has to be at least 10 days. Let's say you put in for the April 10th one. By April 1st, you have to have your money in for $65. Otherwise, if it's less than 10 days, you have to pay $80. So if anybody's going to these, get your registration in and go to the ones, you can go to. Marshfield is February 17th. And Stevens Point is February 10th. That's those. And Wisconsin Dells is March 11th. So
Just one
it's in
note.
your book.
So we cut checks usually the 10th and around the 25th, so depending on when you might want to go, just make sure you have that to
Yeah.
me so that we can get the check cut and time it out to them.
Is this the one that you need to attend for the board of review? Is this
Yeah,
the one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There is board of review in this, yes.
Okay.
At least one per, I plan on going, but I went last time, but, and got it, and I was the only one that got the certification, so.
Right, I think nowadays we just need one.
Yeah, that's right, that's
One
right.
member,
Yep.
But it's in your January book, so please look at it. Okay, reports from individual board members. Nick, since you're sitting in my spot, what have you got to talk? Go ahead, Patty.
I had my comment at Public Works saying that they thought that the roads were being well taken care of.
I don't have anything.
We want to know something.
What's that?
Did you forget to put in for supervisor?
No, that was intentional. So.
Okay. I don't have anything to add.
I don't have anything.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Public input. Anybody in the audience wish to speak? Yes, go ahead.
My name is Keith Bookke, 6511 Batavia Avenue. I'm still waiting to hear something about water. And then on your line item number 15, you're talking about using ARPA funding for people that work for the town. I guess I'm very confused about that. Somebody give me a response at some point in time about why that's gonna happen and why that's spent, or going to be spent, or even projected to be spent. It just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of other needs. People are employed. It's like everywhere else. I don't see anybody else getting that kind of benefits. So I think you ought to think it over before you make those kind of decisions. There's other needs in the community. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to? Okay, I'll go to item number, future agenda items. Does, anybody got future agenda items they would like to
Not
talk
at this
about?
time.
I do not.
Okay. Okay, number 15, do you want to read this, or should
Sure.
I? Go ahead.
The Grand Rapids Town Board will move into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Stat Section 19.85, 1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility for the consideration of recommendation from Personnel Committee regarding possible ARPA fund hazard/premium pay amounts to town employees.
And the parenthesis C on this is the most important thing on that, because that gives us the authority to talk about money being given to somebody. So that's why one is clear, but 1C is the authorization for what we're going to be considering giving ARPA money to employees. That's what makes it a closed session. Thank you. So, we'll have a roll call vote, but first we'll need a motion. We'll need a motion to go into closed session. So
I'll motion.
Motion has been made.
Second.
Okay, we'll take a second on that one, and we'll do it by roll call vote. Yes, go ahead, start.
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
We're going to enter closed section at